What's up, everybody? Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a DXM / magic mushrooms / CPM trip report for you. The title of this trip report is Seeing the Future, Horny, Then Crying. Odd night. And was submitted to Earwid in 2007 by the user Jelly on White Bread. With all that being said, let our story begin. I was bored the day I got back to Wilmington after winter break, and it was only 6 o'clock and I was restless. I weigh out 2.4 grams and proceed to make several tea infusions, because it tends to decrease the nausea. I ate a small meal beforehand. All of these things happened, but the chronology of certain events may be a little off. This is long, but in-depth and worth reading. 6:30. Some of the shroom juice and shrooms boiled out in the microwave. I wasn't feeling any signs of onset, and I'm a lightweight, and they normally hit me around this time. So I was worried maybe I messed up the tea somehow. I go into my room and pop 4 Coricidin. Been a year since my last Triple C trip, just to make sure I got some effects. 6:45. Pop 2 more Coricidin, like a dumbass, 'cause I'm not feeling it. 6:50. Maybe I was wrong. The shroom taste is in my mouth and my stomach is uneasy. I burp and it tastes like Coricidin and shrooms. Colors are brighter. I'm starting to feel a bit fuzzy. Concentration is difficult. 7 o'clock. Normally, they come on really slow, but I'm quite be-mushroomed right now. Walls breathing ever so slightly, my thoughts are racing very fast, and I feel very inspired to write. I write for most of this trip, and have my laptop by my side at all times to take notes. By the end, I have 10 single-spaced pages, but lots of it is nonsense. 7:15. I'm very intoxicated now. For some reason, I keep tripping harder every time I trip, even if I take the same amount each time. The trips get more intense every time, and I deal with more complicated issues in my life, and experience more painful emotions, which is why I eventually quit tripping soon after this experience. I'm starting to realize that this is not at all normal, and that maybe I either have a drug problem, or I'm setting myself up for some other problem. Lots of people in my family deal with hardcore, debilitating OCD, depression, severe anxiety, and paranoia in general. I run the risk for HPPD because my uncle is mild permafried from acid in the 60s. I think it's genetic, not sure, but HPPD is no joke. 7:25. I have to push these thoughts out of my mind for right now. I'm tripping hard also because of those evil cough pills, and I'm afraid I can feel my liver bleeding. Ha. I convinced myself that I was permanently in a bad mood before, and I didn't know myself. But now I'm in my sfungled stupor, I'm over all that. I'm enjoying the delusions of grandeur I always get on mushrooms. I think about my future, and I think I'll be famous. I think about how I want to change the world, and if I really concentrate at being the best I will be, and for my age, I'm very good. At some point, I just have to stop scratching my balls, and change my life around so that it centers around my work. I realize that this change needs to happen within the next couple of years, or else I will lose talent, motivation, and my connection with the younger generation of pseudo-intellectuals that I'll be scamming soon. By the time I finish my masterpiece, they'll be idealistic, rebellious and impressionable consumers. Mwahahaha. I'm so evil. 7:35. I'm flailing metaphorically trying to find answers, not quite knowing the questions. Maybe the meaning of life? I notice that I am sensitive right now. I'm typing furiously with pursed lips, putting everything on paper. At moments, I feel livid with anger about things and people I know. Paranoid about the true nature or authenticity of certain friendships/relationships. Suspicious that maybe people think I'm stupid, pathetic, gay, or a loser or a jerk, etc. It is fascinating to go back and see thought loops and the progression of my stream of consciousness. It's cool to analyze it later and decide how much mushrooms were making me realize things and how much it just seemed that way. Sometimes I have to wait a while for the current things in my life to blow over before I really get a good perspective on these shroom logs. As I write all of this, I'm trying to think about how I can make it easy to understand and useful later. And in retrospect, I succeeded. 7:45. Tunnel vision on computer, small swirls of color. I come up with a title for my novel. I'm saved, and a premise including a very brief outline, and a few symbolic points and themes. I later decide that the themes have potential, but the outline truly sucks, and it's currently being neglected on my external hard drive, which is as good as the trash can. The novel shows cynical, but desperate characters who are exploited in parasitic relationships and the role of cult/fundamentalist ideology in placating them. It's really reflective of my pessimistic mindset at the time. And I also regurgitate plenty of things I learned from my symbolic logic class. And this all feels like the best thing I've ever written or read. Only a few people will truly understand my work, but everyone will be able to relate to it. I feel like a genius. And I look into the future and see this novel on shelves, and in interviews I'll be a sarcastic, rude asshole. I'll live in seclusion with strange ritualistic habits, incorporating strange research and crazy events, some of which I haven't even experienced yet in my memoirs. Planning out things that will probably never happen before they are even close to happening. I'm still nauseous, but I think it's the triple C's which I can taste in my disgusting burps. I eat an orange to rid the taste. 8 o'clock. I lay back on my bed, poetically contemplating my life, like I was receiving the ultimate enlightenment frying my neurons. This is getting really fun. Artifact by Sound Tribe Sector 9 is groovin'. Bass lines echo a bit, and I think I imagined electronic drum beats that aren't even there or are more intricate than the actual drum beats. I get up and dance, which I never do. I start thinking about all of my friends back home, and that I left with one of them on bad terms, and I should call them the next day. 8:15. I'm very emotional right now, going back and forth from dulling depression with racing cyclical thoughts to ecstasy with free-flowing thoughts. I'm still writing, and I realize that this is all just a coping mechanism. 8:30. I'm horny, but sexually confused. I can't figure out whether I like guys or girls more. It's been bothering me for a while. I decide it doesn't matter and masturbate, imagining an orgy, which is not normally unappealing. Thankfully, nobody's home. Doors are locked, and porn at full volume. 8:50. Wow. I'm drained now. I have the lightheaded feeling where you hold your breath for a long time and stand up. I think about this girl that I had just fucked in my hometown, and about how crazy she is, and how much I like her but could never be with her. 9 o'clock. I didn't even know that I was close to crying. But all of a sudden, tears burst out, and I think I was crying because I was so confused about life, my relationships with people, and feeling socially inept. But it was random. It felt therapeutic and orgasmic to cry. I bawled loudly, really over-exaggerating and getting into it like I never have before. I then realized my strange, erratic behavior and start laughing maniacally, still crying, just a little bit. 9:10. The CD is skipping. Oh. Wait. That's trippy. Oh yeah, it's part of the CD. SS9 was made to trip me out. That part is awesome, and conveniently marked the end of the peak. My pupils are massive. 9:25. I take a long, hot shower, with Buckethead going full blast. I headbang violently and shred my air guitar. I feel enormous power, and sensations ripple over my skin. The clump of hairs in the drain are hundreds of microscopic tentacles. 9:45. Incredibly relaxed after shower. I get out and find a pack of cigs I forgot about, and start chain smoking, which feels great. I play Tony Hawk 3 on mute, with Buckethead and feel like skating. I go outside and try to big spin. Nope. Heel flip? No way. I try not to comply impossible and fall on my ass. Now's not a good time to skate. I can't seem to get into it and I'm not coordinated. 10 o'clock. I go inside and play guitar, inspired by the bucket. I unleash the same tired thrash riffs I always play, and for some reason it's just not as gratifying as I thought it would be. Thoughts are still racing somewhat, but not about all the serious things I was thinking about earlier. I'm happier now, but still have an uneasy feeling in my stomach. 10:15. Totally shredding Guitar Hero 2 on Expert. No better or worse than usual. Just more fun. Visuals gone. Thoughts slowing down. 10:35. I'm losing interest in Guitar Hero. I still write thoughts down whenever I think of something cool, but I'm getting tired. Still residual tripping, but most effects are gone. 10:50. I feel pretty much baseline, wishing I had weed to bring out the effects. I put on Bob Dylan to mellow out. I call my friend who I had left on bad terms, and it was kind of an awkward conversation because I realized I wasn't all there and should have called the next day. We weren't even on bad terms. I just blew things out of proportion because I was on shrooms. We've always been best friends. I'm a dumbass. 11:30. Baseline for sure. I drift off to sleep easily while listening to The Mantle by Agalloch. It's so dark and ambient. It's beautiful. I wake up the next morning around 11, and my pupils are still fucked up looking because of the quercetin. I feel great, but stupid about the quercetin because I know it's bad for you, and did a lot and told myself I'd stop. Play a lot of Guitar Hero, eat ramen, unproductive lazy day. All in all, a very revealing trip. Targeted subconscious, cynical/unfounded beliefs, and distorted thought processes where I jump to conclusions about what my friends are thinking/feeling. Emotionally intense. This is one of my best shroom logs. I summarized my negative outlook on the world in a short essay a week later about Hamlet, basically stating that the point is not that Hamlet's existentialist views are right or wrong. It's that it's important to think about these things. But if I dwell on it too much, I will inherit his dire fate. If I let these thoughts get me down, my brain will filter out the positives. Thus, I am not thinking with a truly open mind. Attitude is everything. If I believe that nothing is changeable or worth changing, I realize that these are two different subjects. Then things won't change. If I think everything is pointless, nothing will have a point. And if I think everything is superficial, then I will get no real satisfaction out of anything. Even real cynics must be pragmatic. All right, everybody. That is the end of our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.